Well, everybody, welcome to the 199th episode spectacular of Drunk. Today we watched, over the last few weeks, I should say, we watched Loki. So, Aiden, what was the plot of Loki?
Loki takes place, it's a divergent path from Avengers that was shown in Infinity War, where one of the Lokis is able to escape into the time vortex. He's quickly pulled over by an agency called the TVA, the Time Variance Authority, whose job it is to correct mistakes in the timeline. Loki's on the run, and they enlist him, the TVA enlists him to help find a different Loki who's going around causing some issues. He teams up with Mobius, played by Owen Wilson, to track down this Loki. Eventually he meets the Loki, things happen that are spoilers. Connor, what'd you think of Loki?
I liked it. It was a pretty good show. I guess before we get into spoilers, did you like the show?
Yeah, I liked it a lot, actually. It's the first thing Marvel's made this fucking phase that's been good.
Anyways, if you don't care about spoilers, you've already seen it. Now we're getting into spoilers, so there you go. Anyways, I enjoyed Loki quite a bit. I thought it was fun seeing the other versions of Loki. Alligator Loki, young Loki. I liked the comic accurate old Loki. That was fun to see. And I just thought all that was really fun. I liked all the time variance and kind of multiverse hopping stuff that went on to kind of show that Marvel's going to start taking the multiverse stuff into wackier places, which I like. And I thought it was a good run into What If, which hopefully will be a fun show. That's our next big Marvel property.
It's run into fucking everything.
Well, it is. It's going to run into Multiverse of Madness. They introduced Kang, who I'm assuming is going to be the next Thanos.
Certainly seems that way, yes.
The logical next character. Because they're going to do Galactus for the third phase, I'm guessing.
Well, the next three movies are all centered on multiverse shit.
Well, not Shang-Chi, but then Doctor Strange... or Eternals.
I was talking about Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, and
Spider-Man,
but I wouldn't be surprised if Shang-Chi also dipped into it, given it's a Doctor Strange spin-off.
Well, it's not really a spin-off of Doctor Strange at all.
First appeared in Doctor Strange movies.
What do you mean?
Isn't Shang-Chi a character from the Doctor Strange movies?
Shang-Chi's a new character. He's like a street-level character. He's like associated with like Iron Fist and Moon Knight and crap.
Oh, okay.
But yes, no, it's probably going to be wholly unrelated to Doctor Strange. But yes, it's going to tie into that kind of multiverse line setup that we're going to see. We're going to see multiverse crap. We're going to see fucking Kang, which was cool. And I liked Loki's relationship with all the other Lokis, Owen Wilson. The TVA was a pretty interesting organization. I thought it was pretty well fleshed out. I did think it was a little bit weak how everyone kind of believed it in the TVA. No one really questioned anything. I guess they picked like naive people. You can talk your way around it, but that was like a slight low point for me. But I actually thought the episodes all looked pretty good considering how CG heavy they are and that they're technically TV shows in a way. I thought it all looked good. I thought Tom Hiddleston was really good in the show. They gave him more to do than to be a cackling villain, which a lot of his appearances in the MCU previously have been. I mean, Thor Ragnarok fleshed him out more, but he was really cackling villain in like Avengers and Thor the Dark World. So it was nice to see him fleshed out more because Tom Hiddleston, apparently can be a decent actor when they actually give him stuff to do.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that. I thought there was a lot of interesting things set up in the show for the future of the MCU, but also for season 2 of the show, which will probably come out in a year or two. And just a lot of exciting stuff got set up. I thought it was a lot more solid than throughout than WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Falcon and the Winter Soldier had its issues throughout, and WandaVision just petered out completely after like the 4th episode.
Yeah, it's better than either of those.
This surprisingly stayed consistent, where The first episode I was unsure, mostly because I wasn't really sure of the concept of a Loki show, because I was scared we would get cackling villain Loki that we got for most of the series, especially given that this is like post-Avengers. I guess if anything's a criticism, it's that how quickly Loki's character turned around from Avengers version, because this is the character post-Avengers. So it's a little quick to consider how much he's changed and develops throughout it. But I still appreciated that they went through with that, and I guess that's more of a criticism on Joss Whedon's Avengers movie than necessarily the Loki film itself. So Aiden, what did you or Loki show, I should say. So Aiden, what did you think of Loki?
Yeah, Loki's good. It's consistently engaging and entertaining. The core characters, who I'd consider to be Loki, Loki's other version, Sylvie, is the main character, other main character, as well as Mobius, who's played by Owen Wilson. I thought all three of them were really good, almost all the time. It's shot pretty decently, but I was consistently engaged with what was going on. There's it avoids like all the Marvel traps that all these other fucking things fall into. Not just the shows, but the movies as well. Like, doesn't really end on a big, stupid ass laser fight with the blue sky laser. There's like, there's a couple action scenes, but a lot of this show is just people talking to each other. Like, sometimes they go somewhere else and talk to each other.
Yeah,
there's one action-y episode where a planet gets destroyed, but it's not like people blasting lasers at each other. It felt nice to have a Marvel project that wasn't
totally derivative.
Didn't end in he doesn't fight a clone antagonist, which is surprising because there's literally 1,000 clones of him.
I honestly thought the setup was the end was going to be he has to fight evil Loki, some sort of evil Loki.
Yeah, I was kind of anticipating that at the start.
I was like, it's either Kang or an evil Loki, but more likely evil Loki, because these Disney shows have been cock-blocking.
Yeah, I also figured, it's very strange. I kind of figured this would be like Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision, where I'm sure the events will, at some point in the movies, be referenced, and someone who doesn't see the movies, or someone who doesn't watch all these Disney Plus shows would be moderately lost about what's going on with the exciting character of the Scarlet Witch. But, like, this thing is necessary viewing for the next, 15 movies that Marvel's gonna put out.
Even,
it sets up the entirety of the next phase, presumably. I mean, technically we don't know, but the fact that Kang the Conqueror is the villain of this show, and confirmed to be in at least Ant-Man and probably the other two multiverse movies at least, I'd say there's a good chance.
Well, there's infinite Kangs and all these goddamn
it's not the same
branching plot lines are happening, and it's like, okay, so this is pretty clearly an integral
3
event.
multiverse movies coming right after. Seems like it'll be a
even
big
Captain
deal.
America, they're making a Captain America 4 starring Sam Wilson, but you could skip Falcon and the Winter Soldier because he literally gets the shield at the end of Endgame. So anyone who didn't,
and then
even
the
know
whole
that
show is
existed,
about how he gives the shield up and then he takes it back again.
So
if you don't watch it, you literally miss nothing.
I mean, the show is ostensibly pointless, besides the fact that they're probably going to make a Dark Avengers movie in a couple years.
Yeah. I mean, this movie has more of a point than Black Widow, because obviously that also slightly sets up the Dark Avengers, but really, if the Dark Avengers came out of nowhere, the general audience would just be like,
okay, Dark Avengers, I guess they're all assembling.
Nobody cares if the Dark Avengers get set up in the TV shows or whatever the fuck.
Right. I mean, they'll probably just be the villain in the next one of the Avengers movies, and it'll be the ultimate clone antagonist movie.
Yeah.
Where clone antagonists fight the new Avengers. The clone, because it's just going to be the clone
antagonist
of the original
versus
Avengers.
The clone protagonist.
Because I bet you $100 they're going to set up Red Hulk and She-Hulk, or they might do Abomination because we know Abomination's in Shang-Chi now. You remember
Okay.
Abomination from 2008's Incredible Hulk?
Yeah, are they
That
bringing
sad children's
Tim Roth
character?
back for it?
Yeah, he's gonna be in Shang-Chi. I don't know if Tim Roth's coming back or if they're just doing the old recast. They've never been afraid of that.
Certainly not with the
You
whole
may as well-
series.
You may as well if you went from like a fucking skinny Edward Norton to fucking beefy Italian goddamn Mark Ruffalo. You may as well just go the fucking full mile and recast Tim Roth.
Yeah, whatever. I really liked Kang. I thought he was fun in his 10 minutes on screen. I thought he was fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing more Kangs in the future. Many, many more Kangs. Yeah, it's consistently interesting. It's not incredibly Marvel-like. It's very slow-paced, and if anything, it's more like some Doctor Who shit where it's just like boring, but it's also like boring in kind of an interesting way. Good performances, shot fine enough. I liked it. It's fun and cool, and I like how Loki has sex with himself. It's hot.
I don't think he has sex with himself. He's
Not
going to
yet.
have sex with himself.
Yeah, he will. You're getting there. Anyway, would you recommend Loki?
Yeah, I'd recommend Loki. If you're a Marvel fan, it's going to be pretty essential viewing. And I guess if you aren't a Marvel fan, but for some reason have a Disney Plus subscription, then probably skip it, like all these Marvel shows. But I mean, if you're a fan of Marvel, but you're kind of being more picky and choosy about what you watch, since half these shows are fucking pointless, I would say this is the first of the shows that I would say is actual, like, integral viewing, and it's actually, like, worth watching completely.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't like elements of WandaVision or The Winter
I
Soldier.
didn't like elements of Winter Soldier.
I liked John Walker and a couple other elements. There was some fine stuff, not enough to make the show worth a watch, but there was some stuff in Falcon and the Winter Soldier that wasn't terrible. Mostly terrible. But anyways, I would say that this is the first one that actually seems like essential viewing and is actually a pretty decent show. So yeah, I'd recommend it. Aiden, would you recommend this
Well,
show, Loki?
If you ever plan on watching a Marvel movie again, you probably should.
No, just another Marvel movie
it's
over the next
Essen-
67
it's
years.
essential viewing. But as a good point to that, it is good. It's a good show. It's certainly better than the other two trash fires of TV shows they released. That being the back half of WandaVision and the entirety of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Trash fire and
It's-
a half.
Trash fire and a half. Genuinely pretty good. Would recommend. Would also recommend not watching Falcon and Winter Soldier.